All right, so we're going to switch up the colors a little bit because these guys want to make it awkward. But, man, they have made life awkward for all the other competition so far in this event. And so I'm excited. Also, Vinchester, your clan is going to have to stay at the bottom right, my friend. That just looks so much prettier. Vinchester and Liereyy have been by far the best performers in this group. They have dominated every set they have played. For Liereyy, he did drop 2 games, and Vinchester only dropped 1. But everyone's been excited to see what these two powerhouses are going to do against each other. Now, this is essentially just a fight to see who gets a bye after the group stage. In any situation where someone wins 3-0 or 2-0 or 2-1, unless I'm doing the math incorrectly here, that player would be moving on to the quarterfinals immediately, whereas the other player will be in a second place, and they'd be playing a third place player from another group. The group stage will complete this week, and after the group stage completes, we are then going to see a round of 12 on a Friday. Then we do the quarterfinals on a Saturday, and then we do the semis and the finals on a Sunday. It should be pretty awesome. I think it actually might be Thursday through Sunday, but I'll get information out there for those that want to see it live. $40 per win here, but also these two are really going to have a true test for each other that maybe they haven't found yet so far. Other things in this group, though, still very, very fun to pay attention to. I cannot wait for Capwatch versus Slam in the final round. That feels like a do-or-die set for both of those players. But this set does not actually influence anything else happening in this group, so it should be fun. All right, we've got Japanese for Liereyy, and then in the blue, we've got the classic Huns pick for Vinchester. I'm going to be honest, I was a little surprised that Vinchester picked so many arena-style maps. Arena-style civs. He picked Bohemians, Poles, and Burgundians. And the maps are Cross, Arabia, and Arena. So my theory is he just wanted to pick some arena civs away from Liereyy. But civs like Persian, civs like Lithuanian, civs like even Hindustanis have performed really well in this map. It's not that Huns are poor. Huns I actually really do like on this map, so we'll see. Yeah, we will have... So my plan with the casting of this event was to cover as much as possible solo. In the event, people actually coordinate with me, that we would have some casting done. But I wasn't really planning any co-casting for the early stages. It's just so much coverage, and it's really hard to coordinate when I'm trying to balance everything that goes into this. But for the final stages, I'm going to aim to bring in some people. I think it'd be really cool as well to bring in players who participated in this event. Particularly if they are out. Now, I'm not rooting for, players who happen to be good casters to be out, but we'll see. I'll talk to some people. Should be able to get Dave and Nilly in here for a few sets as well. So the later stages will have a co-caster. Japanese, early game flexibility. Man, this Scout War, it is going the way of Vinchester so far. Not sure if Liereyy noticed that, but yeah, he backs away. That actually means you don't need to wall in your villager on the shorefish because that scout's weak, so you should be okay. Dock in the south for him. Meanwhile, we have the dock in the north for Vinchester. Good stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Sounds good on co-casting front? Yeah, it should be good. Like, players I love to cast with would probably be like Hera, Jordan, Slam. I would love to cast with Viper. He has his days where he's interested in casting. We could maybe make that happen. It just comes down to player interest, right? And I don't want to take away from someone's potential time for preparing if they're going to be participating in the event as well. But certain players would be down, certain players wouldn't be. Yo, Paladin, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. So here's the big thing right now. How are you using your wood? Now, that's not meant to be sexual, okay? How are you spending the wood you bring in? That's the better way to say it. Because Japanese, they had the cheaper lumber camps, cheaper mills, cheaper mining camps. There's a lot of wood savings. For the Huns, at this stage, not having to make houses the whole game is starting to add up. And so that could lead to an early barracks. That could lead to a second dock. It's all about wood, but that wood dictates how they control the map, whether it be on water or whether it be on land. So we'll see. Right now, Vinchester's going for a second lumber camp, so he's going to have plenty of wood. And he has a scout down here. And he also has a villager heading towards the south. That's what it looks like anyways. Now, I don't know how pro players get so lucky. But Liereyy sees this villager now, and Vinchester might change his whole strategy because of this. I think the strat may have been to sneak the villager to Lierey's pond. You can see villagers are going to gold, so how are you going to spend that gold, Vinchester? And I think Liereyy, out of pure paranoia now, is coming home. And Liereyy does not have a barracks yet. He's adding the barracks, and so Lierey's choice is clearly to go into land. Now, guys, I like this. I like this decision because with Japanese, I feel it's easier to play defensive if they're coming to your pond because you have the tankier fishing ships. And for the Huns, you might save enough wood where you can kind of do a mix of both. Now, what I would love with Japanese is I'd love to see men-at-arms. I think that's one of the toughest things to stop on this map. You have a little bit of a fish boom. And you don't need to take a lot of food at this point. Transfer everything else to wood for Navy and Archer follow-up. Guys, I don't know if Liereyy expected Vinchester to still come forward, but check it out. Double-checking with a fishing ship. And will he see it? I don't know if he noticed the villager there. Now, very frequently here, it's a case of what you do not see. So if Vinchester didn't see a range, he would know to check his pond. And he already made an outpost here, which I think is underrated. Scouted that. Liereyy now comes back, and now he scouts the dock. Okay, so now he sees this. So let's see how the Japanese fishing ships survive here. How well they fare. He's going to go for a fire galley first. He's adding an archer. Meanwhile, at home, Vinchester. Notice he's adding fishing ships so he can have more food. And he's just walling up. He needs the barracks. Then he probably needs an archer range. It's going to take him some time. Now, I think there is a chance here that Vinchester feels he's not spotted. I didn't see anything except for maybe now that tells me, no, he still can't see it. So Vinchester might be like, oh my god, if I just wall up these archers and kill his fish, I might win the game. And check this out. He actually had a dock on the left side for Vinchester. I was very late to spotting. And will he spot this? And will Liereyy notice it? They're right next to each other. The next door neighbors. Aha! Sneaky job here from Liereyy. And so Liereyy just decides to put a stop to this. And I like this decision because that villager could lead to repairing the ships. And now Liereyy can repair his ships. And that's not the case for Vinchester. Liereyy notices this here. He was being attacked. So he saves that villager. And we're obviously now going to see fire galleys for Vinch. Sorry for all the dinging. If I had a no ding mod, I would definitely download it. There's no ding mod as far as I'm aware. And every time I check a dock, it freaking dings, man. There's a song about it. If you haven't heard the song yet, check it out. It'll plague your thoughts and dreams forever, but highly recommend if you're that kind of person. Okay. So Vinch has 2 fires, and he just lost his scout. But Liereyy hasn't moved forward with his archer numbers yet. I mean, that's a concern for me. Vinchester hasn't really been producing a lot. I think Liereyy, especially a player of his caliber, you would expect him to move forward to the land eco with those archers. Vinchester does have Town Watch, so he has a lot of vision. And he's playing into some skirms and archers, and Liereyy would run right into the TC if he goes in. Let's see. He might actually do it. Sometimes you do it because you don't expect there to be villagers there. And now instead he really just wants to deny this blacksmith. He does know there's an archer range there, so he knows how important fletching is, and he's being super annoying. Blacksmith should go up. She's dead. No, how did she not die? How did she not die there? Also, this is what we have to pay attention to. We have to pay attention to this. It looks like Liereyy will defend his home pond. Fletching will come in now for Vinchester. And he's got skirms, and he's got what will soon be an archer. Meanwhile, his wall villager's getting attacked. Also, to the 3 people who are having discussions about wood in my chat, I just want to say I love you so much. It's so not relevant to this game anymore. But I made one comment about spending wood. And now we have a link of a certain type of tree from Japan, I believe, if I've been following your conversation. I am also very happy that the chat does not show the whole thread. And that keeps it off screen. But, you know, maybe people are going to miss out on it. You guys are really missing out on some quality stuff. Vinchester falling behind here. He's lost his range units. A big thing when you play into skirmishers is you need armor. And he's still 30 seconds off of armor right now. He's kiting nicely, though. He is dodging a lot of these shots. Wow, this is incredible micro. A lot of us out here would just be dead at this stage. Does feel like Liereyy has the edge so far. Just a slight edge, 11 to 5 KD, and that could change now that armor's in. But Liereyy needs to get out of here. Lierey's unit control, and I'm going to jinx him here, but his unit control is impeccable. He's going to get out of here, no problem. 500 food for him. We only have 200 food for Vinchester. And I feel like a lot of that might have been the fact that he delayed his berries. We also have had similar amounts of fishing ships, but I guess these fishing ships haven't been working. And wow, nice job there from Liereyy. Liereyy could still lose this pond, though, on this side. And take a look at Vinch, man. Man, these guys are so good. Vinchester's going to check the right side, where we've seen some fishing here from Liereyy. The second you research armor, though, the second you need to be utilizing those skirmishers, because that's 100 food that you've invested to make your army unkillable by archers. But now Lierey's had the time. Vinchester delayed things a little bit, and Liereyy just hides behind his walls. He clicks up to Castle Age. Suddenly, those skirmishers aren't looking so good anymore. We'll see if Liereyy can get the full wall down on the right. He already has the full wall down on the left. And having the faster Castle Age while having 2 pawns is pretty good stuff. Oh my god. No way that just happened. Okay, so I have to rewind to show you this, but remember Vinchester was sending his villager over here? So the villager just got clicked there. I'm going to catch up to real time. And Liereyy quick walled it in and then finished it off with his villager and his fire ship. And now the skirmishers from Vinch come over here to get revenge, and she's going to get killed by spears. But still, impressive stuff there from Liereyy. Impressive from Vinch. Vinch could definitely win this pond. Vinchester is in an awkward spot, guys. We call the lack of houses or not having to make houses a bonus. And in some ways, I think it is a bonus. But it's also very much bad if you don't have houses to defend. Think about how normal civs play. You can kind of see it over here at Lierey's base. He'll make palisade walls, and then he's going to make house walls behind it. And that fortifies up your base if your opponent's faster to Castle Age. You cannot do that with the Huns. And so I could see some big issues for Vinchester. Could maybe opt to go to stone and go for towers, but that's still going to be so tricky here. And yeah, Coffee90, what's up, man? This is definitely game 1. Here come the archers. We knew they'd be leaving the base at some point. Crossbow, Bodkin would upgrade as well. I don't think there's a big need for Liereyy to upgrade his navy right now. But he is going to get gill nets, so his fishing is more efficient. He thinks he doesn't have to go for navy control, but there might be a dock over here for Vinch. Oh, geez. This is so bad. I think he needs to tower his gold. Yep. Yep. That's a good reaction. If he didn't... he needs to build it with more villagers, I think. But if he doesn't tower there, he's in big trouble. And he's just going to relocate to this wood. Pull his skirmishers back home. And take a little bit of stone here. Tower should complete. You're going to see these skirmishers move around. And there goes the tower. I don't know how long everyone who's listening in right now has been watching today. And I don't know what people have watched in the past on YouTube. But if you didn't see the Capwatch versus Song series, we were able to talk a lot about the Dravidians. And I really feel like Dravidians could have been picked on this map. I feel like they're very similar to Japanese in how they play out. I don't know, man. I mean, the win rate for Dravidians has actually been pretty good. They've faced up against Japanese multiple times. Vinchester desperate to maintain control on this pond. Because this one he has uncontested. This one he has uncontested. This is freebie right now for Liereyy. But this is an area where Lierey's fishing. And so Vinchester's actually upgraded his navy. So we might see him win that. But it's very much like Liereyy to just say, screw it. The water's helped me for now. I want Imperial Age. I want Imperial Age and I want Fast Imp Arbalest. Gets a nice pick off there. Vinchester tried to time his shot. In the end, it was 1-for-1, I guess. No elite skirm yet, but we do have early siege here from Vinchester. Would you put both of these players in your top 3 in terms of archer micro right now, guys? Seriously, my buddy Nilly put out a tweet the other day and said, who's your top 5? I was thinking about it. I do put Liereyy at number 1, but I think Vinch is in my top 3. I think if you go no particular order, you go Liereyy, Vinchester, Viper. But then you have Sito out there, who's a Gold League player who will probably get promoted to Platinum. I think Hera's not... It's not his best way of play, but Hera's range micro is also really good. I mean, there's not a lot that he really struggles with, to be honest. Same with all the other players we mentioned, but... Anyways, these skirms kind of out of position here. I think I would definitely have Vinchester at... Oh! I think I would put Vinchester at number 1 at this rate. What is this from Liereyy? Confidently moving forward. No ballistics. Ran up the hill, and now there's 2 siege units, but he falls back to his hill now. Sito, Liereyy, Hera for me? Interesting. I was just curious. Doubt number 1? Yeah, okay. All right. God, this is the disgusting imp time. Okay, so Vinchester, if he goes fast imp, it doesn't really benefit him. Here, he's cleared this up. But, like, Huns don't have Arbalest. Huns don't get the final armor upgrade on their skirms. Rushing fast imp is really not the play. Now, what you could do is you could stay all in Castle Age and you could try and kill this force. But all Lierey's going to do, like he does every other game that he has some eco with some archers, is he's just going to sit there and he's going to say, okay, kill me. Try and do something, because there's absolutely no way that you are going to be able to kill me if I'm in the Imperial Age with Arbalest. Some good shots there from Vinchester. Vinchester has a lot of siege. Liereyy probably a little frustrated with how that went because he wanted to get 1 kill, but a little bold to move forward into that. Here come the crossbows, and Liereyy, just on cue, drops an outpost here. It's like he knows he's exposed over here. He's got control and vision on the right, though he really doesn't, actually, because there's a massive hole. Just waiting it out. Vinchester just now adding a second TC. Sure, he has a bit more in the way of fish. But I don't know if you can kill Arbs. I think there needs to be a higher sense of urgency, but I can also understand why Vinchester would never want to run up this hill, because that's just not going to be a good fight for you. There go the crossbows. Still surprised to not see ballistics just yet for Liereyy. Feels like a very important upgrade for him. He is going to get Thumb Ring, though. And he just wants to take care of these crossbows. Vinchester very curious about what his opponent's up to. He's going to click up to Imperial Age. So he has 1 town center producing villagers while he's on the way to Imp. And he has more fishing ships. His eco will be stronger. But can he stop the crossbow mass? That's going to be a big mop up there for Liereyy. You could consider that a small positive, because at least you killed some of the crossbows. But this is going to be so tough to stop, man. They play the game so much differently than some of the other players because they respect each other so much. The lack of movement is insane because they just know, like, the other person's micro is good enough where if they try and move out, they're just going to get pushed back. It's honestly the campiest cross game we've seen, and what a shot from downtown there from Liereyy. And another decent shot, though Vinchester somehow micros away. Nope. More micro there. We have Arbalest. We have Bracer. See if Vinchester can run around with this. He's just sitting there for now as he micros, but at 90 seconds till he's in the next stage, and the guy's got no army. Even if he had skirms, I don't think he could stop this. Liereyy did a good enough job to not take damage, and then macros his way to Arbalest. Dream scenario for the kid, and I think the Huns just do not thrive here. I expect Liereyy to do some crazy things. He mixes up the order. Now he adds the town centers. Now he's like, okay, now we 3 TC boom. Oh, God, this is so good, man. He made it look so easy here. I will have to deal with this. These crossbows might make it in, as we mentioned. I'm sure that Vinchester will be able to make it to the Imperial Age because he's 20 seconds away. I just don't see Huns really scaling well, but not getting the final armor upgrade on your skirmishers hurts a lot. Not to mention that even if you had it, does he have the resources? He does have 78 eco versus 63. from Liereyy. Liereyy did just lose the Mangonel. And it's 105 population versus 103. Positives for Vinchester would be he does have a decent number of skirms. Negative for Vinchester would be the fact that he's not really able to hit the Arbalest right yet. But once Bracer's in, he could obviously do a bit more. Here he is, Liereyy trying to split forces. Maybe also trying to macro a bit more now back at home. He probably didn't realize there were this many skirmishers out, and there he is dodging and dipping and weaving, but he'll lose that group. I'm sure he's happy, though, to take out this town center because now he's on 3. Not producing perfectly out of them, to be honest. And now Vinchester's going to go for the reinforcements. Liereyy feeling enough of a threat from the skirmishers. He's now going to go for Onager, which is so rare. It is so rare to see in these types of situations. But it does make sense, doesn't it? It shows he has a healthy respect for the skirmishers, despite all the things that I said. I think what Liereyy needed was he needed a castle in Vinchester's face with that push, and then he could just be trebbing everything down. But because he doesn't have that, he's going to back away. 42 to 41 total KD, sorry. Eco KD 7-7. Oh, man. And hey, these crossbows. It's not bad. 2 villagers, might be 3 villagers. Liereyy, just let it die, dude. Just let it die. It's okay. It's okay. You can let it die. Yep, there you go. Vinchester. Great damage. Fantastic damage. And that just comes down to, as more kills come in, it just comes down to Liereyy not walling up. Vinchester being creative enough to move around to different areas. Does take this fight. The Onagers are very, very slow. And the longer this game goes, the more I'm starting to believe in the Huns, because the Huns have stable units we haven't seen yet. And there's the stables there for Vinchester. Oh, man, this is the death ball, though. Like, this is what I meant earlier. If you had a castle drop, I don't know what on earth Vinchester could do. Skirms are not great against Onager. I'm sure Vinchester could micro it, but still. I like the Fish Trap edition. That's food eco that can't really be raided right now. Still has fishing ships in 3 ponds. He's going to hop out. He's going to get a shot there. Just hoping to whittle down the Onager numbers. Knowing Vinch, he might even use the skirms to try and finish it off here. But yep, there you go. Nice little split micro. It's weak enough. And bam. Ouch. That really hurt, though. Mangonel pops out over here. Vinch just trying to delay. Just trying to delay. And again, he's weakened the Onagers. And yo, Vinchester. What is happening? Like, what's your game plan here? I don't know. I think everything we make dies. Actually, what we can do is we can make an inferior unit that's very risky to use. And we will weaken his unit and then use the skirmishers, which should never be here in the first place because they die. And we'll use the skirms to finish the job. Holy crap, this is sick stuff. Also, I love this from Liereyy, but at the same time, I love how Vinchester's got the fires around. And as I see these upgrades come in, I'm beginning to worry for Liereyy a little bit. Unless he gets a forward castle down. If he gets a forward castle down, it's suddenly a different story. And here he comes with the villagers. This army has been deadly. This army has been very tough to engage against. Will Vinchester have anything out of his stables? He doesn't produce anything yet. It takes a lot of resources to be able to get the armor upgrades and make the units. And big shot there from Liereyy. Unfortunate for Vinch. Poor Vinchester. He can barely take gold safely at the moment. And there's the castle. I think with this castle and a few trebuchets, it just gets worse and worse for Vinchester. Look at where Vinchester can get gold at the moment. His best gold position is this. And it's not too far away from Lierey's army. He also has gold over here. Could always try and squeeze over to the golds on this side as well. This actually, these Arbalest being repositioned off the shoreline killed all the fishing ships over here as well. And the economy is 100 versus 100, but Lierey's economy, I think, is a bit stronger right now. He can take whatever he wants. And his army composition still kind of seems unkillable. Vinch, had he gone for Light Cav instead of waiting for Cavalier, maybe he could have used the Light Cav to raid a little bit. But when you play Liereyy, you know exactly what the guy's going to do. He's going to go archers. Sometimes he'll mix in the siege like this. It's not about knowing what he's doing. It's about finding a way to stop it. There's no guessing with him. It's always going to be a similar play. I shouldn't say always. He can obviously play in other things, but this is normally the way he does it. TC's gone down. Now at this point, just one TC for Vinchester. He's trying to hide the Cavalier choice, but he wants to find the proper moment to use it. But just getting worse and worse and worse. Little bit of a raid here. We see a defensive castle for Liereyy because he wants to focus on the push. And soon it might be 0 TCs for Vinchester. However, the Cavalier from Vinch did take out the onagers there. Still just doesn't really give him an answer to this. Oh my god, he's going to kill his own stuff. Oh my god, he just killed his own units. You've got to be kidding me. They were attacking the mining camp and suddenly there's a chance. Oh my god. He's so good at microing. He can even kill his own units like no one else can. Somebody stop this guy. And now look, the onagers are gone. The skirms are getting good kills. And Lierey's like, wait, what? What happened to my units? My god, I mean, he can still micro on the hill and whatnot, but he needs to be careful, man. This is still, I think, better for Huns the later the game goes. Vinchester still has to do so much. He still has to push back this castle. I mean, I could go down the long list of things he has to do, but that is not the way to treat your Arbalest, Liereyy. Now, the concern now for Liereyy is if he's not pushing with Trebs and Arbs constantly, the raids can start to get out of hand, and we're going to see that now. So he's shoring up his defense with house walls. I think the positioning of the stables, it makes it so awkward for Vinchester. It takes so long to loop units around, and if there's not a hole, Liereyy can probably hold. And now here comes Liereyy back with his push. He knows there's a lot of eco here. He knows he can continue to push this if he has the siege. He also knows that the raids are coming. Like we said, here they are. I think this is the weakest point. There's also a hole over here, but that's going to take some time. Also, samurai hype. Let's go. I was wondering why he was getting infantry upgrades. It seems like he also wants to consider pikemen. Both of these things are really good with the Japanese. Oh my god. Walls, protecting himself, pushes everything towards his castle. Don't see Vinchester getting in. Vinchester has done a really good job to fight. I spoke to Miguel about his series against Viper. Viper was Huns, he was Japanese, and basically in my conversation with him, he was like, yeah, I mean, Huns should never be able to win against the fast imp Arbalest from Japanese. They have the options, but it takes them so long to be able to get to a position where they can beat the Japanese, and so that was in the back of my mind. Also, it's Liereyy too, right? So you just have this feeling that Lierey's going to close it out. But Vinchester's done a crazy good job to fight this off. It will make it interesting. If Liereyy wins this first game, there will be 2 games left in the group stage for both players. And at that stage, they will actually be tied with how many wins and losses they have. But we did the math, and regardless of Vinchester coming into this with 1 additional win, regardless, whoever wins 2-1 or 3-0 is going to be head of the group. Because if they're tied with points, the tiebreaker is whoever won the set between the 2 players. Well, actually, first it's who won the most amount of sets, and they would be tied there as well. And then... Wait, would they actually be tied? Yeah, they would be tied there. Wait, would they? No, actually, they wouldn't. Yeah, whoever wins the set wins it on sets 1, right? Because they're both undefeated in their sets. Yeah. So we don't even need to go to the tiebreak. A trade cart from Vinchester, and he's actually went a full trip to that market in the middle. Are you kidding me? This guy's trade booming with Liereyy right now. I assume he accidentally made a trade cart. If he's like me, he probably has a hotkey for a trade cart, which is similar to some other things, and you accidentally click it, and then you realize you have a trade cart, and he said, I won't even delete it. But he got 14 gold from it. The trade's going to go down now, sadly. Oh my god! Liereyy has a castle in the trade! Liereyy is castling the trade route! Ah, lead samurai. How do you stop that as Huns? You could maybe stop it if you had a lot of Cav Archers. I think that's the one thing we didn't see from Huns this game, but I think without the Cav Archers, Liereyy, oh, big shot. Without the Cav Archers, the Samurai should kill everything. Vinchester's desperate to break through. Liereyy, I think, has been very slow and calm about this, just castling all the golds he can find. He hasn't really made a lot of trebuchets since he made his original castle, but I think Samurai could probably just win the day from here. Yeah, Vinchester doesn't have any trade. He's losing his main base. He's in big trouble. Yeah, not the first time we've seen Elite Samurai in Titans League. It's been cool to see Samurai. They produce very quickly, and they don't cost a lot of gold either. I think Halb Samurai is definitely the way to go here, and I think Vinchester's going to have to tap out soon. He'll see his raid isn't working on this side. He'll see his main base is being pushed by Samurai. Could maybe take 1 or 2 more fights before it's over, and yeah, he's going to tap out here. He knows he can't engage against it for much longer. All right, so here's my question, everyone who's watching. What should Vinchester do differently? He knew exactly what Liereyy was going to shoot for. What do you do differently? Remember, it was 3 pawns to 1, essentially. I want to go right about to here. Actually, they're an imp at this stage. Let's go to 28 minutes. So this is what I think. So remember that point in the game where Lierey's push kind of stalled out? Vinchester had some really good micro, and Liereyy was 20 villagers behind. I think at that stage, and yeah, okay, Huns definitely have a weakness against Japanese. I agree with you guys on that. But I think at that stage, you need to have more than a 20 vill lead. Now, Liereyy played this near perfect because he knew he would be behind in vills, and he used his leftover food to add more villagers again, which a lot of players don't do. The way he's able to catch up in economy is just insane. But when I look at his resource balance right now, I feel like at this stage, with that much food in the bank, you could be 3 TCs. So, you know, maybe it's tough when you have to produce ranged units and you have to produce siege to have the wood for that. But with that much floating food, I think he eventually had to sell some of it to go in, to be honest. That's my only thought, is maybe you have 3 TCs, because when we get to about here, he does have an eco lead, but I think it needs to be a little bit more. I would agree, though, that if Japanese are played perfectly against Huns, and Japanese have like 1.5 to 1 save pond, and Lierey's in control of them, it is really tough. I think having Lithuanians, maybe Malians, maybe some other civilizations that come to mind for this map can put you in a better position. But anyways, Liereyy gets the win there. Really good competitive game. It was cool how much respect they had for each other. Both just sitting back in the mid game because they just knew moving out would be a mistake because of how good the opponent was. But we did just have a conversation about how we don't love the Huns. I think we all can see how good Huns can be. I don't think Huns are a bad cross civ. I just don't think they're tip-top. And I also don't think Saracens are tip-top on Arena. But you know what? They should be, guys. They have camels with more HP. They have arbalists. They have bomber cannons, siege onager. You could do crazy things with their monks. They have a cheap market. They have amazing bonuses. I'm not even kidding, for the late game and maybe even for Arena. Now, I don't look at Liereyy here and say Lierey's got a master plan and Lierey's practiced the strategy, but maybe he hates Arena so much he's going to try and go for some type of crazy all-in to try and finish the game as quickly as possible. I, for one, do actually believe, I like to put this on record, that Saracens can beat the Burgundians in a straight-up game. Not saying it's easy, but think about it. Mamelukes, Arbalest, Bombard Cannon, Siege Onager, Siege Ram, Hussar. There's not a lot that Saracens don't get. The problem is, when everyone thinks Saracens, because of the way their market works and the fact that their archers destroy buildings, everyone at the high level immediately plays Saracens like it's some all-in archer civ. You don't necessarily have to do that. So yeah, Liereyy in the red playing as the Saracens, Vinchester in the blue playing as the Burgundians. $40 for a win for these players. But they are both going to advance out of the group here in Titans League. Whoever wins this series will be first. Whoever loses this series will be second. Obviously, having a bye would be quite nice for both of these individuals, and I think they both deserved it. Japanese have more win rate than Hindustanis in T90 League. Nice. Well, Japanese are very good on cross, so that would make sense. Again, my immediate assumption here is that Lierey's going to try and do something funky to gain an early lead. But that kind of makes me sad. I really wish... I would love to see Mamelukes more. I remember back in the Age of Conquerors days, we actually saw Mameluke switches with Saracens. Mamelukes have recently received a buff, by the way. And I think that change was they don't take any bonus damage from skirms anymore. Honestly, what do Burgundians do against 50 elite Mamelukes with full upgrades? Does anyone have an answer to that question? Now, I mean, this isn't a scenario. Obviously, there's a lot of different things that have to happen. Burgundians get their eco upgrades 1 age earlier. It's also cheaper, so they can get leads. I want to see Mamelukes. Don't get your hopes up, okay? Instead, it's probably going to be some crazy rush, which could also be fun, but I would love to see Mamelukes. Yeah, they are very expensive, which is sad. Let's be honest. Whatever T90 says, Liereyy will go 1,000% fast crossbow. He does love his Arbalest. And I also think fast Arbalest Bomber Cannon can actually be quite good against Burgundians because they do lack good skirmishers. So yeah. We'll see. Hand cannons? I mean, Burgundian hand cannons aren't bad. Wait, do Saracens also get hand cannon? They don't, right? Like, no one really talks about Saracens like they're the Civ that has all these options because it never really gets to that stage. And I guess lacking Knights means you just don't feel that flexible because Knights can be an important aspect, but they have great Navy, they have great Siege, they have solid, really solid Cav. They even have Champion, man. I guess where they lack is they would lack Halberdier. Imagine that. A good camel civilization that lacks Halb. It's almost like there should be a theme there. Oh, wait a second. Oh, yeah, the Hindustanis have Imp Camel, and they also have Halb. We're doing this new thing on my stream. It's called a Hindustani Gurjara drinking game. And any time that I have to circle back to how those civilizations are stacked, you have to take a shot. We probably should stop that because I think we've lost a few good men. But they're just something to keep in mind if you're that type of viewer. Literally every camel civics of Hindustanis, yeah. Okay, so here's the rush we wanted. 18 pop. He's on his way to Feudal. Wait, they do get hand cannon? No way. I didn't even read my chat. They do get hand cannons? Wow. Like, I thought they did, but we never see it, so I wasn't sure. I don't think it would be super helpful here. So this is going to be a tower archer rush? Okay, you know what would be so amazing is if you just go straight archers. Obviously, you might need to fight with villagers. You might need to make one tower. But what do you do against an archer rush here? You wall it out. Saracen archers do more bonus against buildings. That should apply to the walls as well, right? Now, guys, here's the really fun part where I tell you that these stone walls have 1,800 HP. Ladder Arena, which Lierey's probably played like 6 times in his entire life, has 900 HP stone walls. I think this is also the first time Liereyy has played Arena in the entire event. I think he's looking at these walls right now, and he's like, oh, no, what have I done? Oh, no, it's going to take me twice as long to break through. Imagine if it works, though. If any Civ was going to have success here, it would probably be the Saracens. Vinchester's certainly giving it some level of respect. Now, a little bit of history lesson. Vinchester was actually one of the players that kind of designed this whole build. This was a few years ago, but he designed it alongside, I think Stark had done it as well. I forget which came first, the chicken or the egg, but I'm pretty sure Vinchester was the egg. And he molded the strategy and then all the way up to the highest level. I think it was Masters of Arena 4? It was 2018. Yeah, he changed the arena meta. And since then, we've seen it a lot, but this was never a thing in the past. Again, the big thing, though, was that the stone walls were 900 HP. He would be through already if it was 900 HP. But he's not through yet. And here he is, battering on the wall. I think this is not going to work at all. The reason the walls have more HP here is because we wanted to have a classic arena feel. Lierey's just straight up not prepared for this map and didn't know that the walls had full HP. So this is not a quote from me, okay? This is a quote from my good friend and admin Robo, all right? Because there have been other examples of this as well over the years. To quote Robo, there is absolutely no excuse for not reading the rules or looking at the maps. That's a Robo quote. I didn't say it. I'm not saying this looks dumb. All I'm saying as I zoom in on this strategy, which is clearly very effective, Robo said there is no excuse for not looking at the maps. And now we have a pause, and Lierey's like, oh, maybe I should go look at this. Is there a bug here? Vinchester, never mind. He was the one who paused. And I would tend to agree with Robo on that. I mean, Lierey's so good, and a lot of players are so good that they don't necessarily need to prepare all the time. But this is the biggest waste of space strategy ever. Oh, he's just gonna, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but he has no farms, guys. Liereyy just said, I know I'm already gonna have a good position moving on out of the group, so let's not even try and play arena standard, and let's just go for something wacky. That shouldn't even work on the map in the first place. So the thing that's tricky is they made a change years back to stonewalls, to buff stonewalls in Feudal Age. And in Feudal Age, your stonewalls are 900 HP. And so when you look at ladder arena, because it's based on, you know, like no like experimental map scripting or whatever, ladder arena has 900 HP stonewalls. And so people figured out that, oh, if there's 900 HP stonewalls, we don't need to play arena standard, which is like the more boom approach, or, you know, competing for relics, we can go for this. So what Liereyy has tried here, it's not bad if you're playing on the ladder, but some tournaments are making it so this isn't really how the map can be played. And as much as I actually like a good old arena tower rush from time to time, I don't feel like that's arena. If I wanted that strategy, I would have obviously changed the map. So I mean that was in the rules and settings. It's clear as day if you just load it up one time and click the walls. And we have a tower now from Liereyy. He's still at 6 on food. And this game is pretty over. I thought we could get excited about the Mamelukes, my friends. And now we've got a Mangonel on the way. And actually, Vinchester deletes that palisade. Look at Liereyy. He's like, something tells me I shouldn't run in here. And he sees the TC. And he now sees the siege is going to be on the way. Okay, there goes the archer. Archer, oh, is a beast. He's a god. Nope, he dies. And that is actually the first... Wait, what? How is this... Did Vinchester lose a villager to a boar or something? I'm not really sure on how to explain the KD. Wait, what? So he didn't lose a villager to a boar. He killed one unit. But he has one death. But Liereyy doesn't have a kill. I think Vinchester deleted his scout. Did we miss that? That's the only thing that makes sense. He doesn't have a scout, but Liereyy didn't kill it. I like how the strategy for Lierey's like, yeah, we're just going to take out the market because we're Saracens and we dominate the market, so we don't want you to have a market. He lost his scout to the boar. I wasn't paying attention because we were talking. He does sometimes use his scouts to bring in boars, but that'd feel very weird. Oh! Okay, villagers have to run away. That villager's going to sacrifice himself for the team. Honestly, 90 seconds away from the next stage. It's not the worst situation ever for Liereyy. Not as bad as I thought it would be. His opponent is working off of a good economy, so he's putting himself under a lot of pressure. So he's going to have to pull out some tricks here to finish this guy off. Big thing for Vinchester is just to re-wall this, so the army is somewhat useless again. And then he can always add the third TC, and there it is. Good micro from Vinchester. Obviously, though, not up against something that should really threaten his siege. It's interesting. Liereyy hasn't said a word. Not that he's the most chatty individual in games, but it is interesting. Okay, this is what I think. I think he's going to try Fast Imp Arbalest. He needs 2 buildings, so he will need a siege workshop. And he'll probably go... do you go monastery or do you go... That's tricky. Okay, I guess you go monastery. Then he won't be able to get ballistics. I think all we're going to see from him is he's just going to buy and sell resources with his market and try and go up to Imp. Yep, there you go. Food count's really high. He actually canceled his upgrades so he could click up to Imp first. Which, if you're going to try this, is probably smart. Also, he was going to lose his archer range. So did you guys actually... Did I actually show that the scout died to a boar and then I didn't talk about it? I was probably talking about Saracens and how good they can be if people don't play YOLO with them. I love Saracens, but I feel like it's always going to be a thing where, with the market being as good as it is, and the archers destroying buildings quickly, it's always going to be market into crossbow and arbalest at a competitive level. Unless they tweak one of those things. Now, you could look at this. Like, I want you guys to remember this game. Because if Vinchester wins the next one, which he may or may not, but let's say Vinchester wins the next one, and then Liereyy doesn't get a bye, and so Lierey's in second place, and he has to play someone in, like, Yo or something, who's going to be third place in one of these groups, and then he loses, he's going to look back and say, well, crap. Not only do I have to play an extra round, because I didn't look at the map and see that it had 1800 HP stone walls, but I also, as we are still going to see Liereyy click up. This is crazy. But I also am not going to advance as deep into the event that I would have wanted, right? 31 Vil Imperial Age. So now, now he can't create Vils this whole time. He's got 3 on food. Liereyy going full clown. I don't even think he's going to have the resources to get upgrades. Like, the guy can't even afford an archer range right now. This Vil count is going to be something like 75 versus 30. At which point, Vinchester can probably just throw Cavalier at it. He doesn't even need to go Imp if he doesn't want to. Also, how does Liereyy kill his opponent? It has to be... Normally, it's trebuchets or something, but I think he almost needs to sell his stone. There's a monk for Vinchester. He does want to snag some relics. Sneaky. He's going to snag the relics. It looks like he's thinking about Imp. Okay, so he saw Lierey's score dip. And he probably was expecting it anyways. So now he's going to build his buildings in the back, which is really smart. And he's going to try and delay and click up to the Imperial Age. Honestly, not having the market... Oh my god. Tell me he's going to build one. Okay, I was going to say, having lost that market earlier actually delays him pretty massively. Okay, so is it monks? Is that the play? Ugh. I mean, it's funny, but like, these are the top 2 in the group. It also bothers me. As an organizer and caster, this bothers me, even though I think it's funny. I'm so conflicted right now. Come on, Liereyy. And there goes Imp for Vinchester. I do like the castle. I would still like to see an archer range so we could upgrade to crossbow at the very least, but apparently that's never going to happen. Honestly, watch it work. Because having... Oh, he converts some siege. Oh, he could convert another one. Awkward. Awkward. These guys used to be friends. Okay. Vinch needs military buildings. He's going to add ranges. Arena's a funny map, man, because you can't run away. I don't know. I disagree with the wall HP change. It's a pretty easy thing for a player to miss, even if they do look at all the maps. Dude, it's not just this event, right? It's happening for a majority of events that incorporate Arena. So it's not like this one-off thing that has brought blindsided players. It's something that does differ from event to event. And someone like Liereyy, who's got like over 6 figures in tournament earnings, you know, should probably look at. Now, maybe we don't even know. Maybe he actually still felt like it's really good, right? So maybe I'm wrong, but it's certainly at the very least less effective if you do it on the 1800 HP Stonewalls. Monks can convert all the army that Vinchester makes. So you need to have enough army to contest the siege, and you also are going to need to have enough army to contest the monks. The problem for Vinchester is he doesn't have the army numbers yet. And that is actually his MTC. I swear to God, if he doesn't go to Imp. Okay, he realized. And I think Liereyy will also realize that's the MTC because he sees the villagers repairing it, but Imperial Age will come in. So you don't need the best of trades here for Vinchester. You just need to not take awful trades. Make sure you maintain your army mass. He's trying to be as patient as possible while getting upgrades. All of this Liereyy can't really afford with 3 farmers. And it will probably eventually be bombard cannons, but right now the most important thing is going to be the skirms for Vinch. But he is squished into a corner. He's really squished in here. His food eco is definitely going to have some catching up to do. I say catching up as if there's any food eco at all for Liereyy, but so far so good for Liereyy. I would still like to see him get crossbow, but it really feels like the monks and the siege is the most important part of this army. And I think the mangonel is actually a huge part of it because that is the only thing that can really contest the skirms right now. Lierey's going to see this. I'm impressed. I mean, he's actually pushed in. He's done more than I really thought he would accomplish here, but now skirmishers are going to push it back, and this is kind of what we thought would happen. I think you're correct in saying light cav in a normal situation, but Liereyy is so far behind economically, I think light cav is even not needed at this point. If your opponent is using monks to convert skirmishers, I think that's when you know you're in a good position. Take out that monk. Thank you very much. Also, he doesn't even have freaking sanctity, man. His monks are still basic monks with 30 HP. Oh, Liereyy. Liereyy. Vinch probably needs to be a little careful. I'm not sure about the 1 treb against 3 here. I don't know if I would play that game, because you'll probably lose your trebuchets. And he does lose one. Just needs to slowly fix his economy. Now, I think you're kind of holding your current position if you're Liereyy, so maybe you could start to add a bit more food eco. No, he's going to go onager, actually. I think he's going to go onager. Yeah. He's definitely saving for it. Bombard cannons will be out for Vinchester, which in theory could take out the onager. But then the monks could convert the bombard cannons. So this is still possible, maybe. Again, lack of prep or whatever you want to call it, it's looking decent compared to what you'd think would happen here. Vinchester being very relaxed. He's also adding a few Coustier here. Got to be careful because if they get converted, it could be a problem. And now the skirms are going to go in for the monks. Great pullback here. No sanctity. The monks are so low HP. They're so low HP, and you could throw away the skirmishers if you have eco, and that's exactly what happens. The onager upgrade is about to hit. I'm not sure if he's going to have many of them. He's going to have 1 onager and feudal age archers. It feels like the start of a really bad joke. It's like 5 archers and an onager walk into the Imperial Age, and they're like, what are we doing here? And now there's no more monks, and he has to add more monks. Here go the archers. Okay, archers have to run back. 87 villagers versus 27. It's gotten even worse for Liereyy. And probably getting close to the point where he might want to consider calling this one. I think he's still going to give us a little bit of entertainment here. But he's at the limit. As an organizer, are you still upset about this game? I mean, it can't be that upset, right? There are other examples of people who are very good, who came in and something surprised them on the maps when it's been there. I understand it, you know, especially if there's other events going on, whatever. Players have been historically unprepared at times, and that just is what it is. They're very talented. Doesn't always mean that they have the preparation that we might all hope for. But Lierey's a beast, right? And I think at the end of the day, like, he just didn't want to play a standard arena map against Vinchester. He knows how good Vinchester is on arena, or maybe he himself just loathes it. And he probably figured that the difference between first and second place is going to be the third game, which is going to be on his home map if he wins the first one. Actually landed a massive shot there. Also, converted unit. Oh! Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I think the dream that every single game is going to be fully prepared in the group stage is probably a bit too hopeful. GG. Most created unit, 14 archers. Most created unit, archers. For an Imperial Age player. Come on, bro. Oh my god. Well, he tried. He tried. And he committed too. Because once he went fast feudal, he was like, oh crap. Are these walls really 900 HP? Or really not 900 HP? Shoot. Let's look at the economy just for kicks and giggles. Pretty decent lead there. I, for one, am shocked that Vinchester was able to win with that type of a lead. I was impressed with how much value Liereyy got, honestly. If that's 900 HP Stonewalls, I can definitely see how that works because there's no way Vinchester would have that much time. But that's not the map, man. 35k resources versus 18k. KD was good for Liereyy. He had that. 7 conversions, worth it. Game 3 is going to be on Arabia, and that's where Liereyy will shine. And this final game between these two beasts of Group C will determine which player is first in the group and which player is second in the group. Okay, so now they go with colors that are fantastic. So do we keep these colors? No, we can't do it. I think we have to go back to the colors we had before just for consistency. But I wish they would have had those colors at the start. Anyways, here we are. Liereyy playing as the Britons. This is not for all the marbles, but this is playing for a bye, which will lead to an eventual increase in prize pool if, in theory, one person loses in the round of 12 and the other person were to lose in the round of 8. Getting deeper into the stage past the group stage means more money on the line. Also means you get to rest, see what everybody else is up to, and avoid a very good player. Curious to see if we'd see Laming, and we are going to see Laming right here. Vinchester trying his best to find Lierey's base right now. One of the big things about having Mayans. Honestly, both maps are very open considering what we've seen in the past from these generations. Particularly Vinchester's map. With these golds being forward, it could be a big issue for him. He does have this gold to take. But I could see the berries and the main gold on the front being a problem. Same with these berries here for Liereyy. And even this gold's not the best. Also, to the bird who is outside of my window. Yes, I'm looking at you. Can you please shut up? Oh my god. It shut up. Guys, I'm not even kidding. It's still... What? It's been tweeting for the last 5 minutes. I just shut up a bird. Wow, I'm so happy. Anyways, back to the game. Vinchester sadly was unable to find anything at Lierey's base. I can't believe that just happened. I just fully expected it to keep tweeting. And we'll see Vinchester make the sad journey home. The sad journey home with no pigs and no sheep. But yeah, he has to find his own resources here. As for Liereyy, he's playing things fairly standard. He scouted the front of his base first to bring in all the pigs he could. And now he brings in his boar. Over here, he'll probably try and push in some deer. When you're thinking about Britons versus Mayans, you're thinking about what type of position are you going to get into in the Castle Age. Britons have dominant archer numbers. Britons are going to dominate, and Mayans normally will not want to have their own archers. And that's a problem, because Mayan playing into archers is kind of common here. Now, what you could do is, and we've seen a lot of skirm eagle play from the Mayans, that can work. But you have to have a bit of a lead to make that transition. It takes 60 seconds to make an eagle in the Feudal Age, which is really tough. I would say Vinchester, every time I've seen him play the Mayans over the last couple months, he always goes to Militia Drush into a fast Feudal Age follow-up. And I remember freaking out about him. There's the barracks now. When he played against Song Song in the first round, Song Song was Britons, and Song Song got completely shreked. It was crazy. We are also going to see the early barracks here for Liereyy. And I don't think this should come as a massive surprise. I think we'll see the same build order for both players, to be honest with you. Obviously, scouting is a pretty big deal. Liereyy doesn't know where Vinchester is yet, or what Vinchester's up to. You look over at Vinchester's base. He knows the berries are here, and that's probably directly where he's going to go, so he might run into that barracks. This villager is going to bring in the boar. Eagle's just pushing in some extra deer. Yeah, this tells me that he's going to try and get up to Feudal Age quickly behind all this. And actually, as that scout gets hit by a couple villagers, that will most likely tell Liereyy what he needs to know. Yeah, he's going to see the villagers were going to place a mill. Then he also sees the barracks. And so good scouting from him. 2 militia here from Vinchester. There's definitely a world where Liereyy will add a third here, yeah. So Mayans research loom at the start, which takes them to 50 gold. Militia costs 20 gold a pop, plus the food cost, obviously. That means you would have to collect 10 additional gold to make the third militia, which is a big reason why Liereyy should add his third. He's got 3. This is Vinchester. Vinchester knows the scout is weak too, so he's probably full of confidence. And now he's going to see 3, and he says, oh, that's not so good. So we'll back away. Britons are able to recover pretty quickly with the food costs too, because they have the sheep bonus. Vinchester has to back away. You can see he does have 1 on gold right now. It's actually a pretty good fight for him. He was on the hill, and he was able to get a good start to that attack. I think if the scout's killed, he'll be pretty happy with this. And I think that those villagers on gold are most likely not going to mean more militia come out. You just got to go for the scout here. And if you kill the scout, you'll have life. And oh, wow, I'm surprised. That was really worth it for Vinchester. He keeps his scout alive. That militia will do nothing. Let's see. See a mining camp here. Should be there in a second. There it is. We're going to see the click up after this villager for Liereyy. And Vinchester, I think it could get away with doing it after this villager if he really wanted to. The thing is, he's healing his eagle instead of scouting the opponent here. Is he just assuming that Lierey's going to do this? Or is he assuming that Lierey's going fast castle? Because if he thinks Lierey's going to go fast castle, this could be a big problem. He's still making villagers here. Dang. With that gold, I would not be pleased. I would almost take this gold, honestly. Because Lierey's scout most likely hasn't seen it. Oh, man. Okay, so he has a better economy right now, but he'll be later to Feudal Age. Liereyy, honestly, is very much at the limit right now. A lot of players won't go for the second lumber camp off this build because they're really going to need the wood for an archer range, but maybe Lierey's got the timing down better than I do. Taking a bit of food here, so food shouldn't be an issue. 1 on gold. We'll be able to make the first archer, but we'll need more on gold after that. And there's the militia scouting. I'm curious what Liereyy does here. So, I mean, there's not really much he can do about it because he's already made his choices. But if I were him and I didn't see Vinchester up and then I saw Vinchester's farms, I'd be like, wait, what? Why did he farm that early? How much does he have on gold? What's his plan here? Because all you know is that the gold is forward and there's 2 on gold. 2 on gold might tell you, though. What's the mining camp by Vinch? That's a Vinchester mining camp. He places those mining camps. I don't know, like, I think the reason Vinchester does that is because he's also a player who will go for 2 mining camps after some market abuse. But if you were to have 4 villagers on either side here, there definitely would be some bumping. It might just be the way that the gold spawned, too. Like, this is clearly the type of mining camp that Vinchester would place if his gold was positioned like that. I would probably place my mining camp 1 tile more to this side. But yeah, not the end of the world, I guess. Liereyy, he's making his first archer. He now has enough gold to make his second archer, so he'll be faster to the production here. What he wasn't able to justify was horse collar for his farms. We do not have a hole here, though it looks like there's a hole. And Vinchester's been very relaxed. Also, remember, has his eagle still. And his eagle's just going to check to see if there's any holes here. This militia would really make me paranoid, because I don't know if Lierey's coming forward yet or not. I guess it's also tough for Liereyy to know because he's playing open. He doesn't know what Vinchester's going to do with his ranged units. Archer going to kill the militia now, but it did get some HP off. And they're both just macroing. It reminds me of game 1, just sitting back. Here's a patrolling archer just to see if there's any sneaks. Tower there for Vinchester because he's worried that we might see some pressure come in, but there will be no pressure. Now, I find it a lot easier to play from Vinchester's position because you're walled, your gold is towered, there's no way you take damage. Liereyy, you have to get some walls down here, and that's all he's really doing with his army. Not sure about this wall. I would prefer he just full wall it. That's kind of weird. But yeah, he'll wall here as well. And notice how he's getting fletching because he's blind to all this. He has to expect that Vinchester's going to send army, and he wants to be prepped for it. And here comes Vinchester with the eagle. I don't know. Seems very relaxed from Liereyy. Relaxed, but not relaxed at the same time. As he's desperate to get the walls down. He doesn't know if the army will arrive. Here he comes with his army. Now, if he could skirt right by this tower and get in, it could be a problem. But he sees the tower now, and he will click the tower and see there's no fletching. And I guarantee you he's going to be like, oh, no. Or what would Liereyy say? Liereyy wouldn't say it like that. Liereyy would say it in a different way. I probably can't do a Liereyy impression. But he's going to think, oh, geez. He's going to be up first because he's saving resources on fletching. And I still don't even know what type of army he's going to go for. So the best way I can describe how this is played out, because some of you are probably doing the math, and fletching is only 100 food and 50 gold, so that doesn't really make the difference. The best way I can describe this is Lierey's build was so fast. It's designed to get the archers out fast and do some damage. Vinchester's build was more relaxed. It was designed to be able to wall up, have a bit more eco working before you reach Feudal Age, and then underplay with military. And that's precisely what has happened. Liereyy hasn't done damage, which is what Lierey's build was designed for. And now Vinchester's going to play into some eagles here. Now, playing into eagles is great and all, but at the end of the day, Liereyy hasn't lost archers. It's a 4-2 KD. That's nothing at this stage. And if Liereyy full walls his base, which I think he should do, Lierey's going to make it to Castle Age, and there's a lot of things that he can do there. That's true. Come on. That would probably be Liereyy. But here's the deal. Like, you need to wall this because eagles could be a problem. And then you have very little ways to counter your opponent. And then also, I see this as an area of concern. If eagles start to attack this and there's no house walls behind, those eagles are going to break through. So a lot's going to be going through Lierey's mind on how he plays this. He's expecting some type of an all-in. Will he add TCs faster? Will he even know it's going to be eagles in the first place? Those are some of the things going through my mind. Now, Vinchester doesn't have a market. And if you realize your opponent's walled and you're not doing damage with an eagle play, and you don't have the stone for a TC, normally what you would do is you would buy the stone and then you boom. He's going to come forward here. Here he goes. Checking to see what's up. All right, he's up faster. Liereyy just now adding the walls. Lierey's villager's exposed. So that's a free villager kill. That's sloppy, man. Maybe didn't expect a 19-minute uptime, though. That is really fast. Okay, archers can get damage in, though. Archers behind walls is always good. 40 seconds from the next stage is the Austrian. Again, whoever wins this game wins their group. And whoever wins this game will have a bye. Will immediately go into the quarterfinals next week for Titans League. Also, the best performing player in all of Titans League that doesn't already have an invite to Red Bull Wololo in October. $200,000 prize pool for age 2 does get an invite. I had said Vinchester and Hera were the two players that I had favorites to maybe be that best performing player because they don't have tickets. Liereyy has a ticket. Viper's got a ticket. I think Velez is a ticket at this point. Doubt and Yo. There'll obviously be more from some other events and then eventually a qualifier, but... Choo-choo! Here we go. Here we go. There's a ram. You do not see that every day. He figures I can't use mangonels to damage the crossbows from Liereyy anyways, so let's just ram down his archery ranges. Why kill someone's units when you can just remove their ability to make more of them? Again, no market for Vinchester. Like, Vinchester is very much all in here. And I do normally question Rams because I find that the Rams, while they can take out the buildings, they don't assist win the fights. And look at Liereyy. He says, screw you and screw your Ram, and he takes out the Ram. I want to get excited about Rams in those situations. I feel like Rams should maybe do a little bit more damage, but Liereyy, he's defended nicely so far. He's on his second town center already, and he has the big, massive crossbows. This push from Vinchester is very costly. He's done nothing with it yet. I did signal this area earlier to you, and I think that these Eagles are actually going to be able to break through. This is going to be really tough for Liereyy to stop. Yeah, the Scorpion's a nice addition. Should be able to hit the Villager. Timing here is crucial. All Liereyy wants to do is make it so his crossbows can sit here. He can start to get kills, he'll be happy. Firing off some volleys, getting another house down, loses the Villager, but now the Eagles can't break through. They will break through. Vinchester's being stubborn here. Does he actually want to run around in here? No ballistics for Liereyy. He's trying. Okay, he's splitting groups. And he's just trying to annoy his opponent. Now, meanwhile, he is going to drop this town center. It kind of sucks that all his villagers can't build it, but whatever. And now this creates some extra work for Liereyy. Liereyy will have the villager lead, though. That might change in a second if the Eagles get kills. Vinchester has done what this push was designed to do, is just get in and get some damage while he's untouched at home. But it hasn't been that good so far. I'll show the Eco KD. It's been 3 villagers killed. Actually, I think that's pretty good. And you can really see how rough these crossbows are in this position if there's no ballistics. And Liereyy has now lost 6 villagers to this attack. Huh. I mean, killing 6 villagers is great. But there's always that was it worth it conversation. Your siege workshop doesn't do too much. You now have 8 eagles. How on earth are you supposed to stop this guy if he has this many crossbows? I love how Vinch, who killed onagers with skirms, and now Liereyy killing a ram with crossbows. Right? It's all about value, right? I also love this as well. Like, it's not going to do anything just yet, but that could really annoy his opponent. And now Liereyy, who is probably thinking about moving out, being very passive. I'd expect him to move out here. He loses the skirm, and now he knows there's going to be more of an attack here. Normally, if Liereyy has 35 crossbows, he's either on his way to Imp, or he's pushing you and booming behind. He's not really doing either of them right now. I'm sure he's trying to save up for Imp. But look at Vinch. Is Vinch going to go 2 TC Imp here? Very uncommon, by the way. It costs food and it costs gold to go Imp. And Vinch also spent food and gold on not only the Eagles, but the armor upgrades. And he's going to click up here. Wow. 2 TC Eagle Imp is very uncommon. That's so many crossbows. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm trying to do the math. You get Elite Eagle. They're 60 HP, which means even if you have full armor, a crossbow does 1 damage and 30 of them 2-shot an eagle, correct? That would make sense. Crossbow does 1 damage, 60 HP unit. So right now we have 43 crossbows. I feel like Elite Eagles would actually die pretty quickly to that, but also at the same time, we need to talk about the number of Eagles. There's going to be a lot for Vinchester. Game 1, Liereyy kind of sat back and waited for Imp with crossbows. Game 2, Leary's like, I have no clue what to do. I'm going to make archers, never upgrade them to crossbows. Game 3, Vinchester's had all the initiative, and Leary's just sitting back at home and not even trying to push out. Like, this is the time, guys. Like, this ball dominates the game right now. I understand the confidence that he has in himself, and I'm not doubting that confidence. I mean, he's shown what he can do with archers, but I think Vinchester's gone for the perfect choice here. Now, I swear to God, if he loses this castle, could be a problem. This is not something you need to do here, Vinchester. This is not something you need to do. You could tell he's like, okay, he knows I'm here now. Oh my God, Vinch is about to throw. Vinch is going to be in such a great spot. Don't. No. Batman, no. Get out of here. Get out of here. Run. Okay. Now he's going to think, oh my God, Leary's going to be up to Imp, but Liereyy hasn't even clicked yet. So thankfully for him, he's going to be able to just take this gold, which I guess is necessary. Yeah, we will see what Vinch can afford as well, right? I think he really wanted a castle on this hill. Okay, he's going to run forward. He's in imp now. Lierey's probably like, what? It's like the old Tim Allen intro. Ooh, you know? If you guys don't... It wasn't Tim Allen intro. I mean, it was him, I believe. The show was called Home Improvement. Used to watch it all the time growing up. Doesn't actually have a ton on gold right now. He's going to place this castle. And that castle is going to go up in a really awkward position. A moment ago, Liereyy was debating on placing a town center there. And I guess Liereyy can't comfortably take this gold either. He would easily be spotted by Vinchester, and that's maybe what Vinchester is designing to do here. I'd love to see him break in with the Eagles after this. What he doesn't want to do is attack the buildings while Liereyy can still hit him. And Liereyy now preparing a barrack switch. He'll want to go for longswords, and he also recognizes the idea. The stone wall, his opponent will likely try and raid him. Let's see, will Vinch go for any relics? I always go for relics in these situations, but the pros will always delay it because they want more eagles and trebs and whatnot. Supplies on the way for Liereyy. He's got 46 crossbowmen. And Vinch is going to take some of this gold. Vinch is also going to stick around here on the stone, and he's making his first treb. And Liereyy just stonewalling. You know what the guy is going to do. I think he's been too passive. I think that's a conversation we need to have. I think he stayed at home for too long. And the opportunity was there, especially with these forward golds and that many crossbows to push Vinchester. Force Vinchester to make more army instead of going to the Imperial Age. But Liereyy had a similar game against Slam where he just sat back with the Britons. And then Slam went full Paladin against him. Slam even had relics, and Slam ended up losing that game. Eagles still have not been able to break through. You don't have El Dorado yet, and the eco is really not that great for Vinchester. Just 2 TCs. More stone walls from Liereyy. Liereyy is backed into a corner, man. But he likes this corner. He lives in this corner, and he's happy with it. Also, this is not the MTC for anyone freaking out. I should have checked that. This is the MTC. But he will lose the TC. And he now drops his own castle. I don't think there's a hole here. I don't think there's any holes. Lots of stone has been put into making sure that there's no gaps in the walls. I do like the castle position for Liereyy because it forces Vinchester to bring his trebs pretty far forward. And Vinchester's going to try and make a switch into plumed archers now. He hasn't actually seen the barracks yet, and I don't think he's seen the units, but he must expect something. I like this. You have enough eco now where you could add more villagers. His treb could be ranged by the crossbow, so he has to back away. And we'll need to see trebuchets from Liereyy here as well. Liereyy, actually housed right now is Vinchester, so he needs to make more houses, which he's doing at home. But Liereyy has to build up trebs, and then Liereyy has to decide if he ever wants to leave his base. Lierey's almost completely out of gold. He can't take any of his golds right now. This is a big problem for him. This might be too bold of a statement, but I think only Liereyy can bring himself out of this hole. And only Liereyy would sit back at home with confidence the entire time. Again, he's done it many times before. But will Vinchester punish him for being so passive here? KD is now 20 to 18. The trebs continue to take out buildings. I actually love trebbing down the ranges. He took out 2 ranges now, taking out the blacksmith. Liereyy can't get Arbalest. This confidence that you have in Liereyy right now is because of what you know about the guy. But I don't know if he's played this one properly. Full fat slop vibe. So true, yeah. Eagles almost break in there. He's gone long swords. I still wonder if Vinch can see it. I feel like Vinch knows because he's making plumes. We do have trebs for Liereyy, and it is likely that he could maybe push this back. Not sure about this area, though. Vinchester with the castle in the middle of the map. 118 population is 150 for Liereyy. If I was coaching right now, I would not suggest that you sit back like this. I'm not coaching. I'm just sitting here wondering what this guy's going to do because he's done it so many times before. He's definitely at a point now where he's desperate for some type of gold. He's almost out of his gold. Oh my god, I think the trees were even chopped here. That's what you do. You just chop a couple trees with the trebs. Lierey's doing a fantastic job of hiding the fact that he's going for champions right now. I still think Vinchester's expecting it. Also, Vinch, make a siege tower, please. I'd be so happy. And okay, so, again, I think Vinchester has seen it at least once or twice to know it's champion. Yeah, Liereyy is very housed at the moment. That's actually amazing. He's very housed because he lost those houses there. Vinch is building up the plumes. Also, in a good spot with upgrades on the plumes as well. His bracer, getting some armor upgrades. Not sure about thumb ring. I know he doesn't have elite plume yet. I think Vinchester needs to be a stubborn... Bonk! What? Wait, this one? Bonk! There you go. Life is fair. I think he needs to be as stubborn as possible in this area. Because this is denying the gold here, and then he could bring his plumes and his eagles to deny the gold on this side. Liereyy spent so much time sitting behind his walls. Doesn't even have Arbalest. So this isn't the most terrifying force ever. Plumed Archer is also over here for Vinchester. He controls the whole map. Many people here predicted 2-1 for Liereyy today. I think I did. No, actually, I said 2-1 Vinchester, I think. Maybe. Who knows? It doesn't matter. The point is, no one thought it was going to be 3-0. And if you thought it was going to be a 3-0, it was disrespectful to whoever you gave the O. These guys are simply too good. They've been dominating their group. But I don't see a way out for Liereyy unless he can push back a castle. If he can push back this castle, he can take gold, and then maybe. Here he comes. He has 2 trebs. The champions are choosing this side. Vinchester was prepared for a push here. But now he needs to swing his plumed archers back over. So his plumes could be seen as out of position. But Liereyy baited him into defending the middle position. And now Liereyy takes out the trebs and backs away again. Yeah, a packed treb gets one-shotted by an enemy trebuchet, whereas an unpacked trebuchet does not. We have a elite plumed archer on the way for Vinchester. He's trying to get a raid in on this side, guys. We have eagles and we have plumes that could run into that area of the eco. This is the second time he's tried rams in this game. The first time it didn't work out so well. This time I think will be different. I don't think Vinchester needs to engage here. I understand the reasoning, and this might even be a bait. He wants Liereyy to focus his attention here, so Liereyy doesn't do anything about this. But I really don't think you take this engagement. I think you're in a good spot anyways. You've been taking the extra golds. You have good position. Now you're in. And now I think you just kind of wait for your time to strike if the champions aren't there. And you'll notice the champions are actually headed this way. So, oh my god, Vinchester. It's perfect. It's perfect. He knows exactly how he wants to play this. The timing on this is perfect. This was a bait. This obviously has had some effect, but the biggest reward for this is simply the fact that champions have to come deal with this. Now, the villagers get sniped. Lierey's 30 villagers behind. And plumed archer is actually the go-to from here. Liereyy does finally get some of those upgrades on the arbs. But elite plumed archer out of 2 castles now. Could be 4 castles because Vinchester has so much stone. I think that's going to be the ticket. And again, you have the golds. You can get the relics. You have full map control because Lierey's just sat back all game. Yeah, he also doesn't have ballistics. He doesn't have the gold for it, to be completely honest with you. How often do you see a player not be able to take one of his secondary golds until this stage of the game? I would love to see El Dorado and just finish this if you're Vinch. He's being very safe, and that is somewhat understandable, but I still would love to see him just go for the kill. Also, I understand because he's been microing so much, he probably doesn't want to do this. But he needs to get relics, and I think he's actually forgot about this gold because his walls are kind of obstructing his vision. He has 1 on gold right now. Now, that will change when he takes what's left of this gold. He's also going over to this gold. We'll see if he notices that one. But Thumbring and now Siege Ram coming in. Liereyy still does not know about this castle. But Liereyy is back on gold. And here comes Vinchester. He says, I've had enough of you sitting back. As this gets cleared. I'm going to go for the kill here. He's gone 2 trebs. He's also going for Siege Ram. It's going to be very tough to stop Siege Ram with archers here for Liereyy. You're going to need champions. And I don't know if he can afford to make the champion numbers he needs. His barracks will go down. We now have masonry for Liereyy as he needs to repair. But even stone's going to be an issue for him. He's just now gone to the stone. That could be raided at any time. We have elite plumed archer. And then, oh my goodness, the trebuchets for Liereyy. Did he get Warwolf? I don't know if he got Warwolf, but Lierey's trebuchets. He's gonna hold this because he'll take out the treb from Vinchester. Vinchester choosing not to run away. Vinchester now has a lot on gold. You could tell he realized he had 0. He's up to 35 on gold now. Doesn't look like he has Warwolf. He would have hit those shots every single time he tried. God, Lierey's so insane. But now El Dorado. That army count is still really tough. Like, there's a chance that Vinchester could throw this against that much army. How is Liereyy still in this game? Does he take the fight? He takes the fight with the plumes. Plumes do a lot of damage to the champions, and they don't receive a lot of damage from the arbs. Both players, PKUE2, using their melee units to dodge, because everyone knows melee units suck. So why even engage with melee units? Yep, we're just going to use them as a meat shield now. And okay, now Liereyy sees the castle, so now Liereyy knows he needs to use his trebs there. He's out of stone. He's got this gold. He still can't take this gold. He also doesn't have any relics. Vinchester's not queuing any eagles right now. Okay, now he is. He's fixed that. I think the rams would actually be one of your best meat shields right now if you are Vinchester. Liereyy will most likely focus fire, but you will see some instances where the rams are tanking some of the shots. And the siege rams will melt the trebs. Oh, he's going to get them. He is going to get them. Liereyy was so focused on his arb micro, but he didn't have the champions there to protect the trebs. And now I think he's done. I do not see how he does it now. And I've said that a lot here, but he has no way to push back Vinchester, and Vinchester still is the whole map. And now Vinchester could maybe go for a big flood of eagles to finish this. 100 HP on the eagles. Liereyy has 11 champions, and that's it. We have a tower. We now have a castle here from Vinchester. He knows that Lierey's boxed in, continues to pressure the guy. And think about it from Lierey's perspective. You have to make trebs on both sides. You're running low on gold. It's usually just not going to work. Also, lead skirm, not really the best sign when you don't have armor upgrades. He's just now researching his first armor upgrade for his range units. Not normally a big focus with Arbalest, especially when he's controlling them, because he's able to out-micro a lot of the shots, but definitely an issue for the skirms. And we have choo-choo from Vinchester, who is going to take it. Vinchester wins 2-1. Vinchester dominated the group, if you think about it. So Vinchester won 2 games. Or, sorry, lost 2 games out of 15. And I guess in the end, for Liereyy, he lost 4. So Liereyy with 11 wins, if my math serves me correctly. 4 losses. Vinchester with 14 wins. No, excuse me, 13, as I just said, and 2 wins. For Liereyy, he is going to make someone very unhappy because he now does not get a bye. And since he's second place in his group, he's going to be faced up against someone who is third place in their group after this group stage concludes. He still played very good, but honestly, his stubbornness at times surprised me just a little bit. Like game 2, I think that was just not being prepared, which is something you have to take into consideration when you're thinking about players and favoring them as we go forward here in this event. Game 3, I just don't understand why he didn't move out with his crossbows. Again, I'm not Liereyy. My micro is not that good. But after he cleared up that raid, remember, he lost villagers. He's sitting at 35 crossbows. There's 3 archers, and there's 8 eagles right now for Vinch. These resources for Vinchester, those resources should never be able to take him to imp. You know why? Because if he uses those to go imp, and when he did, how much did he have? This is insane. He had, while he's on his way to imp, 9 eagles, 2 archers, and a scorpion. If you have that, and 40 crossbows show up to your base from Liereyy, you die. Particularly when your golds are forward. You've got gold here, you've got gold here. There could be siege from Liereyy, anything. So I get sitting at home and waiting for imp, but after you clear up someone's eagles, I think you've got to move out. And most likely, my guess is, Vinchester just completely mind-gamed him, because 2 TCs into the fast imp with no army is not really something that you see a lot of from the Mayans. So I think what Liereyy was expecting was a full boom from Vinchester. And he thought that Vinchester would be in the Imperial Age later than him anyways. And then he thought he could push out, and it was just never the case. Yeah, losing the scout, obviously, and then not moving forward there hurting Liereyy, but Vinchester made that look very easy. Did end up collecting 12,000 more resources, collected more of every single resource. So he completely dominated one of the best players in the world. It's great to see two players who I consider to be in the top 5 in the world face up at the end of the group. Well played to them. Well played to Vinchester.